If you look at the far left, there's a dotted line says, vertical line says New York, 9:30 opening. And on the far right-hand side, there's a vertical dotted line that says the 4 p.m. close for New York. In between those time intervals, you're looking for 5 handles as your initial baseline measurement for progress. You are not to be expecting, like I'm seeing some of you, you're not to expect to be able to pick out the 4069.75 low that I annotated early in the morning before the New York session. During the London session, I was talking to everybody on Twitter. You're not expected to know the 4104.25 high. The importance is to know how many times, by looking at through this entirety of price action from the low to high across the full spectrum of 9:30 opening to 4 p.m. close. This is the canvas that you're working with every single day. You, as the trader, need to look at this and say, what does this life that I'm living right now and leading, what does it allow me to trade? Does it allow me to trade the first half of this before 12 noon New York time? And that would be the morning session. Or is it more appropriate for you to be trading in the afternoon? Either one's fine. One doesn't have any better opportunities. They all have opportunities, but to help you frame your approach to trading and build a model that's unique and permissible for you, that your life and the requirements in your life will allow for you to engage. It may be that you can only do it 1 or 2 times a week. Okay, those 1 or 2 times a week is just fine. That's fine. Because once you start doing this, okay, because right now you're saying, my job, man, it just won't let me do it. You know, I have school. You know, my wife doesn't really support this idea yet. My husband, he thinks this is bullshit. I'm not going to try to convince him because I tried. He won't let me do it. And you don't have much time. Okay, that's fine. All that shit goes away when you start making money. Okay. Once you see that you can pull these setups and opportunities out of the marketplace consistently, your job that you think is the most important thing right now that controls every aspect of your time, that shit's going to fall secondary. You need to look at this chart right now. One of these 2 areas in the day, that's your home. That's where you're going to start. At your next home that you're going to move into mentally, psychologically, and you're going to live there. You're not going to give a fuck what the neighbors are doing in the morning session if you're trading the afternoon. If you're trading the morning session, you don't give a fuck what your neighbors are doing in the afternoon session. You're picking one. You're going to become a specialist in this, in that specific time of the day. And you're going to look for 5 handles. This is how you progress. This is how you go forward. Observing price action and keeping in mind what a 5 handle run looks like. And you're not going to be limited to 5 handles. You will learn how to do 20 handle moves, 50 handle moves, and like you've seen me many, many times execute on over 100 handles. One trade. Full pull, no partials. Partials are for you. They're for you. They're like training wheels. I don't need to take partials. My trades are better selected when I can see partials there. That way, if something comes in where I can see maybe something's coming into the news wires, where some unannounced event. Oh, you know, Biden's got he's getting ready to have a unannounced press conference. Oh shit, what's this fucker going to talk about? Then I can look to say, okay, let me scale some of this stuff out at logical places that would be profitable for me. But my trades I don't need to be taking off partials. I explain and show you that because you aren't me. You don't have 30 years experience. You don't know and how to trust and have the conviction to hold to your target. I do. I'm going to teach you how to do that. But I can't teach you to do full pulls on your trades when you haven't even learned how to, number one, master yourself, get yourself in a position that you can be trained and learn. And then you start small. 5 handles is easy. 5 handles replaces your fucking job. I don't care what you make. You can be a surgeon. I have them. 5 handles, you can make more than that sergeant earns in a year. All the heavy lifting is done by money management. You just need to have the cookie cutter that repeats over and over and over again. This thing that you keep doing, that's your multiplier. 5 handles right now is easy for you to learn to do. It's not easy when you first start. But if you look at these price ranges in the morning session and the afternoon session, there's several 5 handle runs in there. Easy ones. The problem is you want more right now. You're holding yourself to an expectation that you are not realistically going to meet. And then you're wondering why you're depressed and anxious. You're feeling rushed. You're weighing yourself against what you think you should know by now, and that's bullshit. There's only been 1 week. 1 week, and you think you're supposed to quit your job and be able to double your fucking account in a month. That's not practical, man or lady. It's not something that you should be aspiring to do right now. Can you do that and eventually over time? Sure, you can. Absolutely. Let it be a goal that you work towards, but you have to place time and experience and invite the opportunity for that experience to come in and build before you take on those monumental projects and goals for yourself. But the first thing you're trying to learn how to do now is find the setups that repeat. And then once you find that one that repeats, you will learn how to trust it because you see it happening every day. Every day it'll be there. I promise you. Scouts Honor, you will see a fucking 5 handle run every day. Every day. Every fucking day. If that market's open, 5 fucking handles is laid in front of you every single day on a silver platter. You just can't identify it right now. And that's absolutely normal. That's normal. There's no reason to be anxious about that. But at some point, you may be forced to make changes in your personal life to be able to do this. I did. I had to. I had to work 2 part-time jobs to get the difference between what I was earning at my full-time job. It's a lot. One job was across town, one was real close to my home. One paid next to nothing, but those hours were permissible because of the times I'm trying to trade. And I was trying to do that morning session with the bond market. That's what I was trying to trade. That was the thing that I was working towards. And I had to give up, my job so I could be in front of the chart to do that. It's scary, yes. But I didn't do it blindly. I said, I'm going to do this now because I have all this back testing. I have all this forward testing. I have the data to support the fact that I know I can make $1,000 a week in bonds. And I don't need to trade every single day. I'm looking for that one trade for that 1 week. I'm teaching you how to see this every day. That builds confidence real quick, but not to inspire overconfidence. Not, I'm quitting my fucking job tomorrow, man. I'm ready. You got me all hyped up now. No, I'm aligning your perspective and aligning your thoughts with what it is I'm trying to put you through. So that way the experience itself will be the educator. I'm just the coach. I'm putting you in front of the charts when the setups are going to form, trusting that your observation skills, which are hopefully menial, if you can read, okay, and if you can observe, you'll see it. It'll be there. It'll jump off the chart. Right now, it probably doesn't jump off the chart. I mean, you can see where I'm annotating the charts in the morning session. You can see what I've annotated in the afternoon. Those annotations were real time. They're not added after the fact. So when I talk about what the charts are likely to do, what the next candles and what series of candles and what it should perform, going higher or lower, don't go lower than this, go here, stop, maybe retrace and consolidate and go up here next or go down here next. All of that is experience. That part comes to you over time. How much time? You're all going to learn that differently. Some of you are going to warm up to it real fast and get a feel for reading order flow quick. And some of you are going to require a little bit more time. Do not fault yourself for that. Chances are you're probably just worrying about things and what if thinking. What if I don't get this as soon as I want to? What if, I lose my job now, and I wasn't worried about that. Now fucking ICT is giving me a complex. I'm having a phobia about losing my job now. Good. You should be afraid of losing your job. You absolutely should be afraid of losing your job because you're not essential. You're not. You can be made redundant real quick. So you have to have a way of being able to do what? Because if you lost your job, let's just say it like this. If you lose your job, they fired you. You go in on Monday and they say, hey, look, and you're sacked. You're out of here. Here's your pink slip. Goodbye. What the hell? They don't care. They don't care that you have children. They don't care that you have student debt. They don't care that your mortgage went up because they raised property taxes. They don't give a shit. But what are you forced to do then? Go out there and look for another job that may require you to do a different work schedule, work load, skills that you aren't really that good at yet, but you got to go through the stress of going through it. Why? Because you got to earn money. Okay, the money that's available in these marketplaces, why is it any different? All you're doing is going through the training process to get your certificate, your degree, your diploma. That's what you're here for this year. Some of you want to walk out and be a fucking surgeon just because you read Grey's Anatomy. That's not practical. You can't do that, folks. And this is really technical. And it's very hard, and you're wrestling with the brightest minds in the entire world. And they're trying to beat you. They're making it almost impossible if you use retail stuff. Because those things, they're distractions. And all I'm asking you to do is really look at this chart and figure out where, and don't use these individual swings to justify either. Think about where you are in your personal life. What changes are you comfortable with making to allow yourself to be in these markets watching it live? 2.5, 3 hours of a day, a couple times a week, that's all you need. Because one good setup per week can replace your entire work week and what you earn.